Good morning, children. Welcome back. The same continuation of the topic natural vegetation and wildlife. In this part, we are going to see the main types of forest in India. That is the tropical evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorn forest, mountain forest, and littoral and swamp forest. Here we are going to see about the mountains and the mangroves near the tidal zone. So these are the basic characteristics where we find in the different types of forest in India. Now let's know each and every type of forest in detail. So we start where the map of India which shows the different types of forest in India in the north, in the south, in the east and the west. So here this map is showing us all types of forest areas which are evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorn forest, mountain forest and littoral forest. Now first let's know about the tropical rainforest. They occur in the region of very heavy rainfall with more than 200 centimeters and common areas are the Western Ghats, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, etc. Here the tree cover is up to the height of 60 meters and we have a kind of year all around warm and wet climate that could be seen here, and the trees are arranged in layers. So we have trees that provide shade to the next trees, and we have a kind of lot of undergrowth trees that is seen. So it's a kind of multi-layered structure that is seen here, and common trees we find here are the ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber and cinchona. Then when we talk about the wildlife like the elephants, monkeys and rhinos are the common animals seen here. This is all what about tropical rainforest or the evergreen forest which we find in our country. Coming to next, let's know about the deciduous forest. These forests are mostly found in regions which has comparatively less rainfall as compared to rainforest. So rainfall is about 70 to 200 centimeters, and these forests shed their leaves in one season. So we have a kind of trees in these areas, and they are based on the seasons where you would see all the trees without leaves. So all the trees shed their leaves at a common season in summers for 6 months to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. However, under evergreen we have greenery throughout the year that would be seen in the forest. Now these tropical deciduous further again are classified into two. They are the most moist and dry, and moist includes a temperature of 100 to 200 centimeters. So the common areas are the northern areas like the Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, eastern slopes and western Ghats. And here the trees that we see are the teak, bamboo, sal and sesame. And under dry climate we have 70 to 100 centimeters of rainfall. It is mainly the peninsular Bihar and UP areas with the trees like teak, sal, peepal and neem. Then coming to the next, that is the tropical thorn forest. Thorn forests occur in a region of rainfall of less than 70 centimeters most of the Thar Desert in Rajasthan, continuing up to the parts of western Gujarat, parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana are affected by arid and semi-arid climatic conditions. The common trees that could be seen here are the acacia, palm, cacti, phobia. They have a kind of long roots, as we said. They have stems which are circulant, which can conserve water for a kind of year. They can use that water for throughout the year. Then you have leaves which are thick and small, and these leaves decrease the evaporation. Now, as we said, there is a modification of stem to leaf and leaf to thorn that could be seen in thorn forest. The common animals are the rat, mice, rabbits, fox, wolf, etc. These are of about tropical thorn forest, which we find here in the natural vegetation. Now, coming to the mountain forest, these are the wet temperate forest with a rainfall of 1000 to 2000 centimeters at an elevation. When we classify mountain forest, we can classify those into four categories. The lowermost are the wet temperature. You have evergreen broadleaf trees like oak and chestnut are seen above it in the mountain forest. The common conifers are the pine, deodar, spruce, cedar, commonly seen in southern Himalayas and northeast India. And above the temperate, you have the alpine, which is seen at a height of 3600 meters. Silver fir, juniper pines are seen as which grows higher than it covers into a kind of alpine grasslands. Common residents here are the Bakarwals and Gujars. Then we have Tundra, which is above the alpine, which is the only vegetation in the form of mosses and lichens that could be seen common animal. Here we find are the Kashmiri eastern spotted deer and Tibetan antelope, and few places we see the snow leopard and red panda, which is not seen throughout the mountain forest. Here, this red panda and snow leopard are seen in few pockets, and these animals are endangered animals. Then now let's know about the mangroves. As I told you, these occur in the tidal regions. The best area where we have the most popular mangroves is the Ganga Brahmaputra Delta. Here, these forests are farms with Sundari trees or Sundarbans that are seen besides knee of the deltas of Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi and Ganga forms the delta on the eastern coast, and all these deltas on the eastern coast are known as the mangrove forest. Besides the Sundari trees that is seen in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, that is very common there. The trees here are the coconut, agar, timber and royal are the trees which we find, or the vegetation we find in these mangrove regions. And another one is the Royal Bengal tiger, and from the delta regions on the eastern coast, and all these deltas are on the eastern part, which are known as the mangrove forest. Besides the Sundari trees that is seen in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta, that is very common. And the trees here are the coconut, agar, timber. And when coming to the wildlife in the mangroves, we find a Royal Bengal tiger seen in the Sundarban delta regions. These Sundarban delta regions are towards the northeastern part of India, which are being found in most parts of West Bengal, etc. And the other important which we need to know about mangroves are they are very kind of trees which are found with mud and silt and get accumulated on such coastal areas. These dense mangroves are the common varieties with the roots of the plants submerged under water. And you find the variety trees called as Sundari trees here, which provide a durable hard timber and palm, coconut, kora, agar. And as I told you, the famous animals we find here are the Royal Bengal tiger, turtles, crocodiles, gharials, snakes, etc. And coming to the next continuation of the topic, let's know about the wildlife. In India, we look about animals. We have certain animals which are specific and are endemic to certain regions, and here we have lions in Gir forest, camels in Thar desert, tigers in Sundarbans, rhinos in Assam, West Bengal, elephants, and Assam, Karnataka, and Kerala are famous for elephants. So they are the major centers for the animals here ever, and these animals are in other regions. They could be seen as well. And now it is interesting to note that India is the only country that has both lion and tiger population. And if you go to the Malayan belt in the region of Ladakh, we will see yak, wild dogs, Tibetan antelope, barrel, that is blue sheep, and kyang, etc. Now let's know about the importance of why the animals are important. So some of the animals are act as a milk animals. They provide us the milk and they are used for transportation, meat and eggs. And fishes provide nutritional food. Then we have insects which have a role in the pollination. So there are different kinds of animals that survive, and all kind of different animals or they have their own role in the ecosystem. Now, as per the 2012 Red Data list of IUCN, there are few species that are critically injured and endangered in India. So it was declared 132 species are critically endangered, and in this, the further classification for those endangered species, 310 species are the animals and classified as endangered, and less than those critically endangered animals, and two plant species are nearly extinct, one of which is Euphoria, and the species are the found in Kerala and are of the species of when we talk about leaf frog, and it is now extinct, which means no more found. And again, Saker falcon is the bird which is also endangered, and a few more like 15 species of birds in India are also endangered. In that, I would like to know about the great Indian bustard, which is a famous and a very beautiful animal. And coming to that, we have a Siberian crane, and also another bird called as social lap wing is also now endangered bird, as these all birds are the migrating birds which comes to India, and most of the time we people enjoy seeing these birds during certain period of time in India. And now let's know about the conservation of forest life, that is wildlife. We have many such biosphere reserves in India. There are various ways in which we conserve the wildlife, like establishing of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Focusing on biosphere reserves has three zones, which would be again categorized into core, buffer, and transition. Core is the innermost, which is free from human interference, where people have been not allowed to involve in that such forest or affecting the forest in in one or the other way. And the buffer zone is the region where we have a kind of research activities where animals are used to find many things in them. They are especially the buffer zone is used for researching on the animals and different activities which are being found for new things like DNA reports and what sort of animals and everything which is related to find out the new thing from the animals, which would be called as a research activities. And then finally transition zone, where human activities is allowed, and it's kind of economic activity along with social activities, and that could be seen of them various biosphere reserves in India. At present has 18 biosphere reserves, and the oldest are the Nilgiris, which is spread into three states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. Next to Nilgiris to the Nandadevi and Nokri areas, largest in the greater run of Kutch in terms of area, is established in 2018. And if you talk about a biosphere switch on, newest is the Seshachalam in Andhra Pradesh, established in 2010. And again we have Panna Biosphere Reserve, established in 2011 in Madhya Pradesh, again meant for the tiger promotion, and was established in 2011. This is what about natural vegetation and wildlife, children. Hope you have understood the topic clearly. Thank you.